What's going on, guys? This is VinylicPuma, back with another Fallout 4 countdown video, and today I wanted to go over 10 of what I think are some of the best energy weapons in Fallout 4. Now, before we start, this video is going to focus on both unique and non-unique energy weapons, and will only feature weapons that use energy weapon ammo types. So, something like an Institute laser will appear on this list, but something with an energy damage component, like an electrified Chinese officer sword or a plasma-infused 10mm pistol, won't appear here. Also, this list won't include any Creation Club weapons, but will include DLC items from all 6 of the DLCs that were released via Fallout 4 Season Pass. Also, if you think I missed something on this list, feel free to leave it in the comments section below, but otherwise, and without further ado, I am pleased to present 10 of what I think are some of the best and strongest energy weapons in Fallout 4, starting now. Number 10. The Cryolator. There's a good chance that while you were leaving Vault 111, you passed a locked display case with the Cryolator inside. If you can, I recommend coming back here once you're able to and pick this master lock, as the Cryolator is a pretty good weapon despite the rarity of its ammo. The Cryolator has several positive aspects. Once it's fully upgraded, the crystallizing barrel will allow you to effectively double the weapon's damage, and beyond that, the Cryolator is compatible with both the Heavy Gunner and Demolition Expert perks, which gives it pretty nice damage scaling once you've maxed both perks out. In fact, to give you some idea, before any perks, you should be dealing about 40 damage, and after perks, you should be dealing roughly 120 damage, which is a 3 times increase. Of course, your problem will be finding cryocells to use the weapon, but if you regularly check vendors like Arturo in Diamond City and Cleo in Good Neighbor, you should be able to find a decent amount of cryocells, even if they go for a fairly high price. Ultimately, if you can amass enough cryocells, I think you'll find that the Cryolator is a quality weapon, so be on the lookout for them and try to stockpile as many as you can. Number 9. The Sergeant Ash Flamer. It's true that the Flamer has a pretty lousy reputation. After all, its upgrades make the weapon simultaneously stronger and weaker, and the damage scaling of the Flamer via perks leaves something to be desired. After all, the only compatible perks are Heavy Gunner and Bloody Mess. Now, I suppose it is true that there are other heavy weapons that are in the same category or same situation, but the advantage that those weapons have is that they are capable of much higher base damage before any perks. The one thing that the Flamer has going for it, though, is one of its unique variants from the Far Harbor DLC, which is the Sergeant Ash. The Sergeant Ash has one of the most useful legendary effects in the game in the form of the kneecapper effect, which makes dealing with creatures a whole lot easier, and this is because you can quickly use the Sergeant Ash to cripple both of the creature's legs, and then swap to some other weapon to easily finish them off. If you ask me, the Sergeant Ash is a great weapon for dealing with creatures, and if you want it, be sure to visit Acadia and purchase it from an NPC named Degen in the Far Harbor DLC. Number 8. The Prototype UP-77 and the Wazer Rifle Laser Guns. While you could try your luck at getting a laser gun with a good legendary effect, you're probably better off just getting either the Prototype UP-77 or a Wazer Rifle, simply because both solve the laser gun's greatest flaw, which is its magazine size. This is thanks to the inherent never-ending effect on both of these, as you won't have to reload as much as your entire ammo pool makes up the gun's magazine, and whatever additional ammo you come across and pick up can be added to that overall stock by simply reloading. Otherwise, both of these are essentially laser guns, which, even in their base form, are excellent energy weapons. After all, the laser rifle deals about as much damage as the alien blaster with faster moving projectiles, and has better ammo efficiency than both the Institute laser and laser musket. Plus, when compared to some of the other fusion cell compatible weapons, the laser gun has better range than the Tesla rifle and doesn't inflict rad damage on the user like the salvaged Assaultron head. So I would say it's worth it to use the laser gun if you can manage to get your hands on one. If you want either of these, the prototype UP-77 is locked within a small vault in the University Credit Union at University Point behind a master lock, while the Laser Rifle is obtained by performing 3 unmarked quests for your synth son Sean once you've beaten the game and provided you saved him during the Nuclear Option mission. Number 7. The Hub's Alien Blaster Pistol. Now, you could make the argument that the standard alien blaster that you obtain in the vanilla game is a unique weapon. However, the Nuka World DLC included Hub's Alien Blaster, which is basically a variant of the alien blaster with the lucky legendary effect, which allows the player to deal double damage on critical hits and fill the critical meter faster. With that in mind, if you plan on using the Alien Blaster Pistol at all, you should probably use this version as it's the better of the two. As for the Alien Blaster in general, it has a pretty high base damage of 50, however it's initially limited to using the very rare Alien Blaster Round ammo, which is only found when you encounter the alien at the UFO crash site, as well as when you receive the Hub's Alien Blaster during the Trip to the Stars side quest. Thankfully, the Alien Blaster can be modified to accept fusion cells, which does lower the base damage slightly. However, you actually get a magazine size boost of 21 on top of the 42 for a total of 63. And this is actually pretty decent if you're a pistol user, and in comparison to the Alien Blaster's main competition, which I would consider to be the laser gun, you're getting more than double the magazine size, which is a nice trade when you consider that the Alien Blaster's projectiles move slower than the laser guns. In the end, I'd say the laser gun is better since different upgrades make it better with different perks, but in general, the Alien Blaster is a great alternative if you're invested in the Gunslinger perk. And like I said earlier, if you want it, all you have to do is progress through the Trip to the Stars side quest, and you should just receive Hub's Alien Blaster from Dora Hubble. Number 6. The Righteous Authority Laser Gun. Normally, I would recommend either the prototype UP-77 or the Laser Rifle to people that are looking for a good variant of the laser gun. However, in terms of potential, I'd have to say that the Righteous Authority is probably the best thanks to its inherent lucky effect, which allows the player to deal double damage on criticals while also allowing the critical meter to fill 15% faster when using VATS. While you'll still have to deal with the laser gun's magazine capacity of 30 or so, I think you'll find that the Righteous Authority is capable of greater damage potential for players that have invested enough into luck and VATS related perks like Critical Banker, Better Criticals, and 4-Leaf Clover. Not only will you be able to refill your critical meter faster with the Righteous Authority, but you'll also be able to deal far more damage on criticals once you decide to do them. Overall, I think the Righteous Authority is the best unique laser gun in Fallout 4, and if you want it, all you have to do is complete the Call to Arms side quest, and then speak to Paladin Dance afterwards. Once you do, you should just receive the Righteous Authority from him. Number 5. The Lorenzo's Artifact Gamma Gun. Originally, I wasn't sure whether to include the Lorenzo's Artifact or just the regular Gamma Gun. However, I think between the two, the Lorenzo's Artifact has more destructive potential due to its more upfront damage. Provided you equip the electric signal antenna to the artifact, you can increase the energy and rad damage of the weapon via the Gunslinger perk. Demolition Expert allows you to increase the ballistic portion's damage, and Nuclear Physicist allows you to further increase the damage of the radiation portion. Add in Bloody Mess, and between the ballistic and energy damage portions, you should be getting a combined listed damage of 142, which is quite decent. Something else that's worth considering is that the Lorenzo's artifact itself is a unique weapon customization, meaning it can be removed from the Gamma Gun and placed on another Gamma Gun entirely. With this in mind, you could feasibly find a legendary variant and then put the Lorenzo's artifact on that version to benefit from both the effects of the artifact as well as that inherent legendary effect, which can potentially yield even greater improvements to your damage. But if you want Lorenzo's artifact, all you need to do is complete the Secret of Cabot House side quest and side with Jack Cabot. After a few in-game days, you can return to Jack and he will give you the Lorenzo's artifact, and from this point, you should have a pretty nice weapon. Number 4. The Gatling Laser. While there are other Gatling lasers I will be going over on this list, finding a non-unique variant or even a random legendary variant yields pretty great results. This is mainly because the Gatling laser has the advantage of being able to greatly increase its damage via upgrades, and it also has the advantage of using fusion cores that are capable of storing up to 500 shots. To give you some idea, a fully upgraded Gatling laser is actually stronger than a fully upgraded laser rifle in terms of damage per shot. Plus, thanks to being able to shoot 500 shots per fusion core, the Gatling laser has lighter and more damage-efficient ammo if you play on survival. And even if you don't play on survival, by having the Gatling laser be classified as a heavy weapon, you can have access to a nice ranged weapon if you're heavily invested into some of the melee perks from the strength perk tree, as you can basically just allocate a few points into heavy gunner if you need to do so. Overall, the Gatling laser is pretty awesome, and while I will be discussing a few of its unique variants shortly, if you can't get those unique variants, a regular variant should suffice. Number 3. The Plasma Gun. So as far as regular, non-unique energy weapons are concerned, plasma guns are among some of the best. Not only do they sport high damage thanks to how they deal a combination of both ballistic and energy damage, but the ballistic and energy components by themselves tend to exceed most other weapons. For example, a non-upgraded plasma gun deals roughly 24 plus 24 damage, which exceeds the 10mm pistol and most pipe weapons on the ballistic portion, and either exceeds or matches the Institute and non-Institute laser guns on the energy portion. After upgrades, I've seen the plasma gun get as high as 60 plus 60, which actually surpasses a lot of other ballistic and energy weapons. Now, it is true that there are 2 unique variants of the plasma gun. Of the 2, the Experiment 18-A is probably the most useful since it has the rapid effect, which improves fire rate and reload speed. You can buy this from the synth vendor in the Institute, however, you may just be better off trying your luck in acquiring a legendary variant because while the rapid effect itself is good, you may be able to find something that's better, like a 2-shot, VETS enhanced, or even a penetrating version. Otherwise, the plasma gun is one of the better energy weapons, and if you're having a hard time finding one, be sure to visit some of the areas in the southern parts of the map like Gunner's Plaza or Quincy Ruins, and you should be able to find a gunner with one equipped. Number 2. The Aeternus Gatling Laser. The Aeternus is one of the unique Gatling lasers that got added with the Nuka World DLC, and can be obtained during the Amoral Combat quest. There are a multitude of challengers that you can encounter during this quest, however the final one, which is usually the Rogue Knight, carries the Aeternus, and upon defeating him, you get this weapon to use during combat. What's special about the Aeternus Gatling laser is that it has the never-ending effect. However, unlike other weapons, where the never-ending effect creates a bottomless magazine, this has a unique effect on the Gatling laser that essentially allows for infinite ammo. Now, when you fire, you may notice that you seem to consume some ammo the first time you use it, but after that, you can pretty much fire indefinitely. And obviously, this is great for any difficulty, but can prove to be especially useful in survival mode where ammo has a specific weight. While the fusion core needed to fire the Aeternus is still going to have some weight, you still get an infinite number of shots, which is extremely useful. Ultimately, this is a pretty awesome unique Gatling laser, and you really should play through all of the Amoral Combat quests to get this amazing weapon. Number 1. The Final Judgement Gatling Laser. So, the Final Judgement is the other of the 2 unique Gatling lasers that are available in Fallout 4. It's acquired by defeating Arthur Maxson during the Institute's Airship Down quest. However, there are some other ways you can get it. For example, Maxson can supposedly appear during Rocket's Red Glare for the Railroad, provided that you immediately start a fight on the Pridwin's deck. But I would say that the most common way to acquire the Final Judgment is by encountering and defeating Maxson during the Airship Down quest for the Institute. What's cool about the Final Judgment, though, is that it has the rapid effect, which boosts the Gatling laser's fire rate. However, due to an interesting bug and some of the Gatling laser's unique properties, if you have the charging barrels customization equipped, with the rapid effect, you can actually greatly boost the fire rate of the Gatling laser, which makes it even more deadly than it was before. I guess the real downside is that the Aeternus still has infinite ammo, which gives it an advantage over the Final Judgment. However, in terms of damage per second, the Final Judgment is just a lot better thanks to that increased fire rate. If you ask me, it's worth it to go for this thing, and I think compared to the other faction weapons like the Sentinel's Plasma Caster that the Brotherhood gives you, or the automatic laser musket that you can get from the Minutemen, the Final Judgment is actually worth trying to get, and if you're doing an Institute playthrough or a Railroad playthrough, be sure to stop by here and pick this thing up. Okay guys, I think that's going to wrap up this particular video. If you liked this video, feel free to leave a like, click the bell so you can be notified when I upload more videos, and as always, thank you all so much for supporting this channel. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.